Welcome to Knowledge by Nature. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. It's so nice to have you. Before we get started, I want to let you know that this is video 2 of a 2-part series that I'm doing for All About Reading. So if you didn't see video 1, be sure and look down in the comments. I'll put it down in the comments, or I'll post a card right here. That way you can see everything that you're going to need to do this program. Today we're going to be doing a flip through of the teacher's manual, where we're going to be looking at exactly what a lesson looks like, the steps that you take for the lesson, as well as what is inside the activity book. Before we get completely started on video 2, I would ask that you give me a thumbs up if you're liking this sort of content and these longer, more thorough reviews, as well as clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. So here we go. Complete step-by-step lesson plans. So it starts in, this book is going to be following this little frog. It says that his name is Herman, and he is so happy to meet you. So level 1 was Rocket, a dog, which was an astronaut dog, and then pre-K was Ziggy Zebra. And Ziggy Zebra still is with us today. He's a puppet, and he still does some lessons with us sometimes because it's fun, and fun reading equals good reading. So here we have this cream color box, which is for the teacher. It's going to tell you about what you're going to be talking about. And then there's little notes in there as well. Then it's going to be talking about closed syllables, open syllables. Going to be talking about using these syllable tags. Here we got our doors here. So here we go, right off the bat. This is where we start in with the student. So you're going to review your phonogram cards 1 to 32, which were taught in level 1. Show the front of the card to your student and have him or her say the sounds. Okay? It says, if your student could instantly recite all the sounds of the phonograms, file these 32 flashcards behind the phonogram card's mastered divider in your student's reading review box. So these are our reading review boxes that we were talking about. If there was any hesitation on the sounds, file those cards behind the phonogram card's review divider. So see, we have review, mastered, future. So if there was any hesitation, it stays behind the review. If it's mastered, they got it, it goes behind mastered. So then we have an activity. In this first activities, we'll review words that you already know. See how accurately you can read these words. And so if you are working with an older student, feel free to skip any of these activity sheets that your student wouldn't enjoy. You can review the words from level 1 using flashcards if you prefer. So again, it opens it up. What's best for you guys? So we see right here, remove pages 9 through 13. And what I am going to do this year. Last year, I left the book as is. But I really didn't like it all throughout the year, but I never really did anything about it. This year, what I am going to do is I am going to get a 3-ring binder, and I am going to take out everything for lesson 1. So we would have these sheets right here. This is lesson 1, lesson 1 practice sheet. And then right here is more of lesson 1 practice sheets. So I would remove all of these. I may or may not cut them, because one thing is a lot of times I would have her cut these because it was good practice. You know, here's some cutting skills, cut along the lines. And so, but I'm going to get the binder, and I'm going to put all of these in a clear protective sheet, and then I know they're all going to be in one binder, and it's going to be a lot easier for these practice sheets. This is like the biggest thing of why I didn't like keeping them in the book, is because sometimes it was kind of hard to read the pages in the book, and I think it will be easier if these are out. Why I didn't just rip them out too, I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to do this year, is just kind of organize it that way. As soon as I sit down, it's even easier, and it's already easy, guys. It's already easy, and I'm just going to make it easier for myself. So we're going to do these activities. We've got this cute little anteater, and it looks like we're going to cut, and we're going to put these up. And so if the anteater can read grit, aka if your child can read grit, you'll move it up and he gets to eat the ant. So this will be a very fun activity. One of the things that I am considering doing is videos where you watch us do some lessons. If that is something that you are interested in, please put down in the comments below if you're interested in seeing that sort of video. Also, if you're interested in seeing it for certain curriculums that I have. So you can go back and you can watch my first grade curriculum choices. I'll put that up here. Watch that. If there's some that I might not be doing a flip through yet, but you're like, you know, I would really like to see this lesson, put it down in the comments so I know, okay, you want to see us do this lesson and you want to see us do it on this curriculum. So if you don't mind, put that down in the comments if you're interested in that. I was thinking about doing a series of where we record our lessons so you can see a live lesson happening. So we have our little activity here. Again, it's showing you what the picture looks like in addition to the page. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to review some plural words. And so we're going to build this with the letter tiles. I haven't ever used the app, so I don't know exactly how you would do that. I think it's probably just click them and it brings it down. With the board, I'm going to move it down just like I showed you earlier. You're going to cover the S with your finger. We say one wing and we say two wings. And so it talks about the pluralization of words. Wings is plural because it means more than one. And so you are getting some grammar rules in this too throughout the time. And there's also little snippets of information that you get with activity sheets too. And then we've got, looks like we're covering all the vowels again, all the sounds, short, long. You know, this is the first lesson, so they're going to kind of, this is a review lesson, but this is going to be exactly the same as when we get to the next level. So here we go, new teaching, and so we're introducing closed and open syllables. So we reviewed everything from level 1, so with lesson number 2, we're probably going to be reviewing open and closed tags. So we have another activity sheet for that, and a practice fluency sheet. After you do your practice sheet, you're going to read, and then you get to put a cute little sticker on the chart. So that would be for lesson 1. So let's go to one of these sheets. This is one of the things where we got one of our first hiccups at, was how lengthy some of our pre-reading practice sheets were. This one is 2 pages, which is not that bad. But there were some, and I'm sure there's some in here too, with level 1, that it was like 4 sheets of reading, and it was just too much. But it talks about how you don't have to necessarily read everything either. So again, if it looks like it's too much, pause. You know, we read all of this today. Tomorrow we'll come back and do the phrases. There's also fun ideas of how to do some of these sheets too. And I think it was like emoticons. Let me see if it's in this one. It is a really fun game that she loved to play when we would do the phrases. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Here it is. Fun with emotions. We played this a lot. This is how we would do our phrases. And so you can cut out your little emotions, put them in a hat, and then cut out the words or sentences or whatever you're working from for your practice sheet. For us, we would almost always use the phrases for this emotion game. And what I would do is I would just write them out on a piece of paper, and then we would click them and we would take turns pulling out an emotion. And so you would read the phrase that you pulled out. So we have, let's just say, glass of milk. And so you could, oh, a glass of milk. Or, oh, a glass of milk. Or, oh, a glass of milk. So, I mean, you can get really silly. It makes it super fun. Loved this game. We played this all the time for our practice sheets. And it made the practice sheets so much better. So definitely we'll check out these appendixes so you know some more ideas. So here is the end of lesson 1. So when you come back, he has a little message for the child. And so here we are. You would read this at the beginning of lesson 2. And here's the teacher's notes talking about what we're working on. We go with review. and then we jump to the new teaching. So you can see our review is very small here. It wasn't like lesson 1 where we were reviewing the whole level 1 almost. So right now we're just going to review lesson 1 here. We have our new teaching, our activity sheet, new teaching with our cards. So it's going to say, okay, here, pull out these word cards. These are your new word cards. We have 2 new leap words. So we have U and R here. These are little notes for the teacher. New teaching. And I mean, it just goes through here and it tells you exactly what to say here. So it says, show word card 10 to your student. And then in quotes, this word is you, as in, did you ask? And so, I mean, it just tells you exactly what to say. What is this word? And then like what your student should say. And then you go through here, you have your practice fluency sheet again. Here we go. We're going to read a story or a poem. So you're going to read aloud to your student for 20 minutes. You get to mark your progress chart. You're going to read what Herman is saying. And then here's day or lesson 3. Here we go. So here's our first time we're going to be seeing a book. And so at the beginning of the book, it was telling us that we have lesson 1 is going, or not lesson 1, but you're going to have a review lesson, and then you're going to have a read lesson. And so first you're going to introduce something, and then you're going to read it. And so it talks about all of this. We have our review section again. You have your new teaching where you're going to have your activity sheet. You have your activity sheet, and then you have a warm-up sheet. The warm-up sheet is usually quite small. Let's pull that over here. It's not like the practice fluency sheets. It's just a little practice set. If I can find this, let's see. Turn to page 33. Oh, I was right there. So it's much smaller. So you have the words taught in the previous lesson. You have some phrases that you're going to see in this story. And then you have this image. And so it teaches them about stunt and how he's doing a stunt. And it will also tell you about that also. So right here, point out the illustration of the stunt on the warm-up sheet. A stunt is a daring trick, like doing flips on a snowboard. In the movies, a person who performs daring stunts is called a stunt man or stunt woman. And then it has some prompts here to kind of ask them, have you ever seen someone do a stunt? What did the person do? Was it scary or funny? In today's story, a lot of animals perform stunts in a contest. Let's see who wins. So you turn the page, and it tells you, turn to page 9, and here's another little note for you. So it tells you exactly where to turn. Turn to page 9 in your reader and read twist and stomp. Okay, so you turn here. Going to turn to page 9, which is the little story I showed you earlier. The student has twist and stomp. And then as you're reading, as the student is reading, it says, after page 13, whose stunts do you like better? The pigs or the dogs, and why? And so they would read 13, and then you would ask them that question. There's another question after 21, and then after reading, you're going to get some more comprehension. Are they understanding what's going on? And then 20 minutes. It says right here, this is where it's talking about increase a short attention span. Since young children have short attention spans, start small with your read-alouds. Begin by choosing a shorter book or books with less text. As your student's attention span increases, gradually add in a mix of longer, more complex stories. And so, I mean, right now we're reading a big, thick chapter book, which is Pegasus of Olympus or something. And so, you know, we used to start out with really small books, but now we've been reading aloud for so many years that, you know, we easily take down a big chapter book, and she's fine to listen while we read it throughout the day. And you don't always necessarily have to finish this, go read aloud. You know, you don't have to do that. Just make sure that you're reading 20 minutes a day. Maybe you want to start your morning with cuddling up and having a read aloud time. That might be great for your family. Maybe you want your 20 minutes of the day to be at bedtime. You know, just set aside some time for that read aloud time. And so here we go with lesson 4. And like I said, it's the same thing every time, guys. It is so awesome. You can open this up and you know exactly what you're getting every single day because it's set up exactly the same. Very little prep work. Last year, I told you I kept the activity book all together. It was not that big of a deal to get everything prepped right there beforehand. This year, it's just going to be easier for me to prep a little bit of it beforehand. I'm not going to cut everything out because I think it's good for her to practice. There are some things in the activity book that I will go ahead and put together, like these were some word flippers that we put together last year. If there is something like this in the activity book, I will go ahead and put it together because this is a little bit time consuming. It's not bad, but when you're ready to get your lesson started, it's not just like cutting out a few things. So I don't know if I'll have word flippers yet, but this was something that I would want to go ahead and get put together. And as you can see, there were quite a few little word flippers for number 1. But very, very little prep time, open and go. You are going to have to sit there and teach the child reading. But to be honest, I don't know what reading you can just give to your child and they learn it. You know, I think every reading program is going to be somewhat teacher intensive because I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe you can just give a kid a book and they learn how to read. But in our instance, this is what we're using. So we have all these lessons. So many of them. We're going to go back here. I want to go to the appendixes. Okay, so here it is. We finished. Give your child the award. And then it says congratulations. And then section 3 is all of the information that is for the teacher, all the little extra games. And so your student is going to learn all of these things in this lesson. Okay, here we go. Lesson 57. Read a short story and learn more about homophones is the very last one. Then we've got phonograms taught in lessons 1 through 4. Excuse me, this is actually, it's showing taught in levels, not lessons. So this is, as you can see, phonograms taught in level 3, phonograms taught in level 2. So this isn't actually lessons, this is levels, my bad. Here it shows you how to do the blending procedure. You're going to build the word with the letter tiles. You're going to touch under one letter at a time and say that sound. So again, it's telling you exactly what to do. Go back to the beginning and blend the first 2 and then start over and blend the entire word. It's got little tips here. And then as you finally say it, you're like, pan, okay? Then it shows how to blend multi-syllable words. And then it's talking about our 6 syllable types. And so it's kind of explaining exactly what all of these tags do. Syllable division rules. Jobs of silent E. Ways to spell long vowel sounds. How to handle sounds. Assemble the word flippers. So there is going to be word flippers in this too. And so you just get this sheet and you cut them all out, you staple them. It's really easy to put together, but sometimes there's like quite a few that kind of need done, and it's just easier to have this done beforehand. But I did all of my level 1s at the day of, so you don't have to prep early. I'm just going to prep early because I know it's just going to be easier on me this year. List of comprehension activities. Tips and activities for using the practice sheets. And so this is where we kind of did that emotions game where we would use the practice sheet. So we've got feed the monster, number the rows, read with a buddy, use sticker dots, play hide and seek word, use an online word search, choose a letter. So these are different ways that you can play fun games with all of them. And then here's some art and creative ways. Silly sentences, have fun with your emotions. Here's the one that I was talking about. This is definitely our favorite. Snacks and rewards. We did this many a times. You put a raisin or marshmallow M&M. Got all these ideas here, and they can kind of get a little snack as they go. And then it just says some positive words to use. This is not easy for most children. This is something that they are learning. It's something that is, it takes time. And so really boost that confidence of, wow, you did so great today. Or I can tell you tried hard to figure that out. And so be very positive. Try to know that this is not easy. And so just give lots of positive encouragement. So I like that they kind of remind us of that sometimes. And then we have the little feed the monster games, swap the words. We actually have a sight word game that we have a little splatter with that we use. Activities for reviewing phonograms. And so again, more activities. activities for reviewing the word cards. And so you could use these with any of these. You wouldn't necessarily have to use this game with a word card. Like if you get creative, like right here, have your student type. We used to do this a lot. We would use it for the phrases. We would use it for the individual words. Have them get on the computer, and we would pretend that we were having a list and I was needing her to order me these things. And so she would type it up and pretend she was printing it out. And so really, really fun. And then this right here is another page that I should just like highlight. Just paint it yellow, like flag this, and hopefully this year, if we come to a hard position, I'm going to remember a lot quicker to, one, not get frustrated, and two, come over here because they probably have a solution for my issue. And so you would go down through here, and it's just talking about if you're struggling with different things. Do any of these situations sound familiar? Your student has trouble reading an entire story in one sitting. Yup. Your student sees how many pages a story is and feels discouraged before they begin. Yup. Your student has a decoding special need. I don't believe we did have that, but these first two were really, really causing us some issues. And so right here, it talks about review. Spend more time reviewing the flashcards and the activities before they get to it, because the more they see it, the more that they do it. But make it fun, because if it's not fun, review isn't going to be very helpful if it's just like drill and kill, you know, drill down these practice sheets. Make those practice sheets fun. Set a timer. When it gets to a hard time, you know what, just as soon as you see the frustration stop, just stop. You know, it's only going to do more harm if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Divide the story into 2 or 3 parts. That's something we have done, is you just start reading a section, you put a bookmark at the page, pick it up the next day, reread, try buddy reading. This is when we did a lot where she would read the left page, I would read the right page, and we would read the story, and then the next day we would reread that story, but I would read the left page and she would read the right page. So she's reading the entire story. She's not having to do it all by herself. And so she's able to buddy read. And so if you have siblings or something like that, that would be a great idea. Practice blending to eliminate word guessing. So just practice those words. And then, you know, definitely check for vision problems. This is absolutely could be an issue that you run into. Here we show the magnet board setup at the end of level 2. So this is what it's going to look like. So it shows me what it's going to look at the beginning. Shows me what it's going to look at level 2. Here's all of the leap words that are taught in this level. So they said there was 32 of them. So we have those all listed here. And now we have all the words taught in level 2. So guys, this is a lot of words that my little level 2 reader is going to be reading at the end. This is really impressive. So by the end of level 2, you really have quite an accomplished reader. Not that you don't at level 1, but level 2, they're really, really reading. So let's just take a really quick flip through of the activity book. I know we already kind of opened it up and saw the, you know, the progress chart, the reading chart, and then here's some activities. But I'm just going to kind of flip through this so you get an idea of what you're going to see. So here's lesson 1. And so we have the practice sheet, and now here's lesson 2. Here we have one of the word flippers, and so you just cut everything out. It shows you exactly where to put the staples, because sometimes you're going to be building on this side, sometimes you'll be building over here, so it's really easy. So that's where I'm talking about right there. That's something that I'm going to need to prep beforehand, because if it was just one word flipper for lesson 8, but it's not. So we're going to have 4 word flippers, so these will need to be cut out, but right here, these are little things that she can work on her scissor skills with. So just kind of here, cut out these squares. We need these for this activity. And so before we even start our activity, I might have her do this. And then it's also getting her kind of curious, like, I wonder what's up with today's lesson. So I'm not going to go through this entire thing because this is about halfway through and there's a whole lot more, but it's the same thing. Every time you're going to have your activity, you're going to have a warm-up, or you're going to have a practice sheet, fluency sheet, warm-up sheet, and then, you're just going to go through that same thing over and over again. Oh, that's cute. Let's see, is there anything in the back besides? Okay, so it just ends with our certificate here. There's nothing extra that you have to do. I did want to mention, if you're going to order this from All About Reading, they have a cute little edition that doesn't cost anything extra. It is called Art Box, and I am going to insert a thing right here so you can see what I'm talking about. Here is the All About Reading website. It's actually allaboutlearningpress.com, and they have the All About Reading and the All About Spelling on here. One thing I do want to mention before I show you the cute little art box that I was talking about, when you order through them, they have a guarantee. And so here we have our pre-reading with Ziggy Zebra, our blast off to reading level 1, leap into reading level 2, swing into reading level 3, and then soar with reading level 4. And we have our pre-reading program level 1, level 2, level 3, and so it just shows you can go in here. Here's the placement test that you can go in and you can see if exactly what you want. Here's the reading interactive kit that you can get with all of them. Or go ahead and use it guarantee. This is what I wanted to mention, guys. Look at this. Check out all of the step-by-step lesson plans and reading and spelling tips for 1 full year. You guys can pretty much use the program. If you didn't like it, send it back. 1 full year. That's incredible. Treat the program like your own and learn everything the program has to offer. If you purchase from us and decide it's not for you, simply send the package back in any condition and we'll refund your purchase price. No questions asked. Guys, they're really standing behind this, and that's what is incredible. Now, do note here that it says purchase from us. So if you purchase this from another website or something, you don't get that guarantee. But if you purchase from All About Reading, then yes, they have that guarantee. But what we came on here for is to look at the art box. So come to this website if you want to figure out some more stuff. But if you go over here to the shipping, and it kind of tells you about the shipping cost and all this kind of stuff, and then you can scroll down and look at this. Don't forget to request box art. And so you can order your stuff and then have them put some box art on it. It doesn't cost you anything. You can watch this little video of what you do. You can put in a little note like maybe what you would like to see. Like I said, we love Ziggy Zebra, and so I asked them to do Ziggy Zebra reading to Cinderella, and they did. I'm kind of kicking myself because I don't think I have that box anymore, and I think I totally forgot to take a picture of it. But it was so sweet. It didn't cost anything extra, and it was a wonderful addition for when curriculum came. I know as a homeschool mom, I'm like tickled pink. It's like Christmas morning whenever the curriculum starts arriving. She's not quite as excited as I am, but that's okay. But she was when we got this awesome box art. And also, she was really excited about lesson 2. She really does like this program as well. Now, she's not as excited about everything else that we got, but she was excited to know that we were going to get the little green frog. She thought he was super cute and wanted to do it. So here's the website. So if you want to see more about them, here's everything that you need for All About Reading. All About Spelling is also in the same one, and so this is something we're going to be starting this year. But I definitely wanted to show you that art
the art box for if you choose to order from them. And then I also wanted to mention that it is like a use and guarantee sort of scenario, which is amazing. So the reading placements and everything, I mean, I could just stay on this for hours, but I have a feeling this video is already going to be really long, so I apologize about that. So right here, you can go to shipping, and that's where you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can see the super cute box art.
All right, guys, so this sums up today's flip through of Leap into Reading Level 2. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I covered everything. I tried to. Again, if you're interested in seeing us do some videos where you watch a lesson, put it down in the comments that that's something that you would like to see, and if there's any particular curriculum that we are doing this year that you want to see. Maybe you want to see all about reading, but maybe you would be interested in our handwriting or our science, whatever that is. Go ahead and throw that down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Welcome my new subscribers. I'm so glad to have you, and I would love it if you're not subscribed, if you would click that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my upcoming content. I'm a homeschool mom to a first grader, and I would love to have you along. So thank you so much for watching today, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.